Wait, I'm showing the books off too soon. Hey everybody, my name's Michael. And this is the June 2021 book haul. Hello. Wait, let me turn them around so I'm not like showing you everything. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in or everyone who's joining. I'll give you all a little bit of time. But this is the June Epic Reads book haul, and I am going slowly and precariously with turning this around because I have a lot of books to talk to you guys about today. It is a fantastic month for book releases. So I hope you have, like, whether it's your beach reading or your summer reading, whatever your summer reading plans are, they're about to get stacked. Oh my God, this is gonna fall. This is gonna be a disaster. Hello, hi everybody joining or gonna tune in the future. I can't even fit them all in screen this month. That's how many books we have to talk to you about today. So settle in, please comment if you've been reading anything fun this summer. Get ready to hear about a lot of books. We have everything from murder mystery to royal romance to blockbuster contemporary, fantasy, all kind of things to talk about today. So hi Drew, hi Blaine. Thank you so much for joining. And I guess I should start talking about these books. So I believe there's a stack of 13 books here today. They're on my lap now, and I have absolutely no idea where I'm supposed to put them so that they don't fall over. I didn't think this through. Give me a moment. Okay, all right, they're down. So I will start off with the book at the top of this pile, and that is Blackout by, give me a second here. We've got Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Nicola Yoon, Angie Thomas, and Ashley Woodfolk. So let me show it off for you. Let's not put it directly in the ring light so you can actually see it. You've been reading the Great Library book series. I've never heard of that. But yes, this is Blackout. Let me show you what's going on under the cover too. As you can see, there's Manhattan Bridge vibes because under the jacket, we have the subway system, and you can't really see, but it says like Brooklyn, and on the back it says like Manhattan, and this is like the New York City subways. So this packaging is awesome. And if you're not familiar with New York City, you can be when you read this. And wow, you already read? No, pre-ordered, yes. This comes out June 22nd. So this is by 6 blockbuster authors. I don't know if you've ever wanted to read a book by 6 authors at once and you thought that's not possible, but it's possible now. You can read a book by 6 authors at once. And it follows 6 interwoven stories. Let me do the right number of fingers. 6 interwoven stories on a day in New York City where there's a heat wave and there's a blackout. And my AC is off for this video, so I kind of understand the feeling. And in this blackout in New York City, there is friendship and romance and first meetings and love blossoming, and like when the lights go out, a different kind of electricity sparks. And so these authors each have their own story. They're all interwoven. Like I said, friendship, love, just lots of fun contemporary stories from these just absolutely fantastic authors. Even love stories can glow when the lights go out. That's very poetic. But yes, definitely check out Blackout. And again, this packaging is so cool. Okay. Next book is a very different direction. I guess not too different in terms of romance, but we have The Betrayed by Kira Cass, the sequel to The Betrothed, from the author of The Selection. And so the queen of royal romance is very much in her realm with this series. Let me show off this cover too, though, because bang, bang. I hope you're not allergic to roses because we got them not only on the jacket, but these end papers as well. It's so pretty. And so The Betrothed follows a girl named Hollis who, again, this is a sequel, so I'm being careful what I say to not spoil you all. A girl named Hollis who had always sort of wanted to be chosen to be royal, I guess I will say. And then the king actually ends up possibly picking her, no spoilers. And when she's in this situation, she finds her heart drawn in a way she didn't expect. Like, it's sort of like what you always think something will be and then what it doesn't end up being for you. And so she finds her heart drawn possibly somewhere else. And in this first book, there's romance, betrayal, deception, high stakes. And so we pick up in the second book, and Hollis she's been through it, and she has to try and follow her heart. But how do you follow your heart when it's been broken? But there is still a tyrannical ruler who needs to be taken down, and don't worry, there is still romance in this royal romantic world. So romance, high stakes, love, royalty, that is what you are getting with the Betrayed. And a really, really pretty cover. But we got lots of comments. Let me see if there's any questions. Yeah, they're all so pretty. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy early birthday. Okay. So there we have that. Let me move on. Okay. Different direction. You already saw it. I don't know what I'm trying to pretend to like surprise you with. The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. So if you haven't read the Truly Devious series, you should absolutely read the Truly Devious series. That is 3 books that are sort of, this is the standalone, companion to, which is an enclosed mystery that needs to be solved at this boarding school. And with The Box in the Woods, we have the first sort of standalone mystery set with those same characters, like in the same world. But all of the questions and clues and mystery will all be solved in this one book. And so this follows Stevie Bell, crime-solving aficionado, who is invited to this camp where 4 camp counselors were murdered, like back in the 70s. And the case was never solved. And so in present day, she's invited to be like a camp counselor at this camp when it reopens, but also to work to sort of solve the case as it's reopened for this podcast. And what's different here is that like the townsfolk who are affected by these murders are still there, and they don't like people coming in and trying to like open their wounds by trying to solve this again. And so it's dangerous. It's not a great situation to be in when you're trying to solve a mystery, but high stakes, really funny, some dark mystery thrilling elements, and definitely one you should check out. But also read the Truly Devious series. And you don't need to have read the Truly Devious series to read this one, but it will just give you some sort of background context. But The Box in the Woods, don't open it. Okay. Man, there's so many good books to talk about this month. Stevie Bell. Stevie Bell is very funny and very intelligent. Okay, so next up, we have a new book from the best-selling author of the Shatter Me series, Taha Mafi, and that is An Emotion of Great Delight. And this cover is also so incredibly stunning. And this is her new contemporary book, her last contemporary book, Very Large Expanse of Sea. This isn't related to, but it's sort of in the sense of the story that it's telling. But this follows Shadi, whose name means joy, but she's in a very like emotional, dark place in her life because it's set in like 2003, and so its tensions are still very high for the Muslim community. And she's been through a lot. There's a lot of family drama. There's friendship drama. She feels sort of abandoned by her best friend. There's romance drama. And she's feeling so much and kind of just pushing through it and keeping her head down. But she realizes that's not the way to get through. And just beautiful, lyrical writing, romantic feelings, expressions of emotions. Like, get ready to feel all of the emotions in An Emotion of Great Delight. It's not just delight that you're going to feel. But it's this sorrowful but profound story that you should certainly check out. Again, from the author of the Shatter Me series. Whew. Okay, we're 4 books in. How's everybody doing? Still got a lot to go. I hope you're on board. We're going to, you have that on your Gene TBR? It's definitely, you should check them all out. So yeah, you should definitely check that one out too. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a comedic historical turn with My Contrary Mary. And so this is from the Lady Janies, who wrote the 3 books based on historical Jane figures, Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. And this is tackling a historical Mary figure. And so what they do is they take this historical figure, it's fictional, and they sort of make it funnier and add different elements to the story. And so if you are familiar with Mary, Queen of Scots, or have watched the TV show Reign, this tackles that Mary. And so it follows Mary, who, yes, is the Queen of Scots, but also can shapeshift into a mouse. And that is a secret she has kept because it is a dangerous secret. And also Frances, who you should be familiar with as well, who does not want to be king, and then Nostradamus' daughter. And when the king mysteriously dies and Mary and Francis need to take up the throne suddenly, there's secrets and romance and hilarity, and it's definitely one you need to read to understand. It's just funny and historical and kind of a little bit magical. But yes, a fun historical take on Mary, Queen of Scots. Oof. Okay. Next, we are heading out into space. Do I have any questions to answer? No, it does not look so. But hey, everybody, thank you for anyone who's just tuning in. This is the June Epic Reads book haul. I made sure I got that month right. Yeah, we're in June. We're almost in the throes of summer. So next up, we are heading into space. Get ready to hop on the Coordinated Endeavor, which is the name of the spaceship, because we have The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schrafer. And this is are you ready for this? It is an enemies to lovers thriller mystery set on a spaceship in space. You heard me right. It has all of those elements going, and it does it fantastically. We follow Ambrose, who wakes up on the spaceship, but has no memory of takeoff, but knows that his mission is to save his sister, who his country couldn't afford to send him out alone to like go on this saving mission. So they also, another country, an enemy nation in the sort of Cold War that they're in, teams up to send one of their young spacefarers to save his sister. So he wakes up on the spaceship, has no memory of takeoff, and his only company is this passive aggressive operating system who speaks to him in his mother's voice, and another crew member who is hostile and sort of stays away from him, but he also finds incredibly handsome. And they're gonna need to work together to figure out what exactly is going on in the ship and why things aren't really adding up for them. And it's just another one you just need to read to like fully experience. Definitely check out this one. And just take like a fun emotional trip into outer space, just for fun. Okay, this pile is already getting too high on the side and it's gonna fall. And I don't wanna have a disaster during this filming process. Okay, the next up, we have a very adorable novel, Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. Let me show you the packaging. And this follows a character named Jay and his gay agenda. I love it when the title tells you exactly what you're gonna get. But it follows a character named Jay who grew up as the only out and proud gay kid in his small rural town. And so when his family moves to Seattle, he feels like he finally has the opportunity to like experience the relationships and the romance and all of the sort of coming of age experiences that he didn't get to have because there were no other queer people where he grew up. And so he's really excited, and he makes this agenda of all the things he wants to do. And then in experiencing it, like first kisses, first romance, first hookup, first heartbreak, he realizes what it actually means and how it's different than sort of what you think it means. Like it's, when you experience it, it's always different than what you think it's going to be. And it's just this adorable romance coming of age story that you fully need to check out. Gay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. Whew. Okay, next up we have Love and Other Natural Disasters by Nisa Segura. And this, I hope you guys like fake dating. This is a really adorable fake dating story. And it follows Nozomi, who is asked by Willow to fake date her because Willow just broke up with her girlfriend and wants to sort of make her jealous, sort of have someone to show. And so she agrees to fake date her, but Nozomi doesn't just want it to be fake dating. Nozomi wants to prove to her that she is worthy of being her real girlfriend. And it gets complicated, as one would expect, as always happens in fake dating stories. And then Willow's ex-girlfriend starts dating someone new. And it's just Nozomi finding how she's feeling in this experience and whether or not they end up together, where their hearts take them. But it's a really, really adorable fake dating story. Love and Other Natural Disasters. Okay. Next up, another adorable story, but also powerful story. We have The Unpopular Vote by Jasper Sanchez. And so this follows a trans-masculine teen named Mark, whose dad is a congressman, and so he's learned all of these things about politics from him. And Mark goes to a new school and kind of just wants to lay low as like the new guy at the school. But then one of Mark's friends is being bullied by like these mean kids at school, and Mark's friend sort of defends himself and is tired of being bullied and just swings first in this fight. And so what happens is that the school doesn't acknowledge that his friend was being bullied. They just acknowledge that he hit first, and they need him to apologize, which is just so tough because he endured so much for so long that he finally like stood up for himself in the situation. And Mark doesn't like that that's how the school is running, and he decides he's not going to lay low anymore. He's going to need to step up and run for class president to make some good changes. And it's the Unpopular Vote. And let me show you. And it's got like a bunch of character art on it. It's really adorable. And one you should definitely check out. How's everybody doing now? Am I missing any comments? No, I am not missing anything. Just giving you a little break before hitting you with, I think we still have halfway to go before hitting you with more books. But again, thank you everyone tuning in. This is the Epic June book haul, and anyone who's watching this later, I'm sorry, I've said that 4 times now. Okay, turn to fantasy as we have, this one's really exciting. Okay, so this is Sisters of the Snake, and it follows 2 girls who look suspiciously like sisters, and this book is written by twin sisters. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of or read a book written by twin sisters before. So that would be a first for me by Sasha and Serena Nanua. And so it follows a princess and a sort of common street thief. And the Princess Rani, is sort of considered the snake princess by her people, having fangs. And her dad just doesn't believe she is ready to rule. And then there's Rhea, who is a street thief who's just trying to scrape by and stay away from the royal guard. And then they run into each other, and like when they physically collide, their lives collide because they realize, hey, they're identical. And so they plan to do like a switch and swap for a certain amount of time, but danger and magic ensues in this really exciting fantasy world. And they've got to solve a prophecy and save themselves and their people. And it's just this really enchanting and lush fantasy magical tale. Again, written by twin sisters, which I just think is really cool. Okay. Staying in fantasy and kind of the same aesthetic. Ready for the shininess? I love the shininess. I love these covers. Okay, so this is the Chariot at Dusk by Swati Tirala, and it is the final book in the Tiger at Midnight trilogy. And so this is a fantasy trilogy that follows Esha, and she was considered the Viper, who was sort of fighting for the rebellion, and Kunal, who was the nephew to an important general that she was rebelling against. And they run into each other, and there's feelings and romance, but of course it's complicated. And I'm not really going to say how it goes because, again, spoilers, is the final book in the trilogy. So definitely read the first 2 books before picking up this one. But in this final book, Esha needs to find Kunal once again and forgive some betrayals. She can forgive what's been betrayed, to work together to find these artifacts that will release this magic into their world. High stakes, romance, action, just epic fantasy. That's another one I recommend you check out. And the ring light, let's put it in. It's glowing. It's too bright brighter than my future. Okay. And a little bit more fantasy for you guys. We have Seasons of Chaos by El Cosmano. This is the sequel to Seasons of the Storm. And this is literally Seasons of Chaos, because in this world, there's this magic that has the 4 seasons are people imbued with immortality and this magical power. And for the seasons to change, the season that comes next needs to kill the season before it so the cycle can continue. But then winter and spring fall in love, and it makes things kind of complicated. And so their plan is to change the way that their magical world works. And we pick up in the second book with them coping with the effects of what happened in the first book. Winter is struggling to accept sort of what's happened to him. But also they've kind of unleashed a season of chaos in that new rulers are sort of taking charge, and the magic is sort of imbalanced in that it's not the way that it was. And I don't want to spoil anything, but epic magic, a really cool, intriguing premise, fantasy, and love. and that is Seasons of Chaos. That was a weird epic voice that I was going for because it just felt right in the moment. Okay, we're coming in on the home stretch. It looks like we just have 2 more books for you guys today. The first of which, definitely a switch up in genre. We have The Girl Least Likely by Katie Lutzenhauser. And this follows Gretchen, who finds herself having feelings for her longtime best friend, like her best friend, the guy sort of who's always been there for her. And so she decides she needs to switch things up a little bit and goes for a makeover, and then ends up at this comedy club and does this impromptu set at the comedy club and finds that like she's good at it. And then she catches the eye of this young roguish comic she finds alluring. And then she's got this duality of like keeping up this life as this comedian and her everyday life. And you can sort of see that dichotomy on the cover. And so you'll have to read to see how she balances those, because that's something that you can't keep up forever. And it's a marvelous Miss Maisel-esque teen novel. So see if she ends up with someone and how she figures out the situation she's gotten herself in. Okay. And then I believe we have one last book here, and that is Strange Creatures by Phoebe North. And so this is a book that follows siblings, Annie and Jamie, who are always really inseparable when they were younger. And whenever they wanted to escape, they created this fantasy world called Gumlea in their backyard. And that's where they'd go all the time when they just wanted to escape and be together. And then as time passes, Jamie grows distant from Annie and then one day disappears entirely. And the town and the family and everyone is really crushed that this has happened, of course. But Jamie, even as years pass, Annie never loses hope. And she might be considering the fact that maybe he's actually escaped into this fantasy world that they created, but it's hard to convince other people, and whether or not that's the truth happened. And then she ends up in this relationship with a new relationship with a girl in her life. And when it happens, she discovers something about her brother going missing. So again, I can't say much about this, but definitely one you need to check out. Find out what's going on, what happened to her brother in this really, really interesting and intriguing sort of mystery story. Strange Creatures. And so I'm going to go in reverse now. So that was Strange Creatures by Phoebe North. For the mystery sort of thrilling vibes, you have to solve what's going on. Then we have The Girl Least Likely for a stand-up comedian juggling dual life sort of contemporary fun story. And then these are all gonna collapse. Seasons of Chaos, a seasonal magic-based fantasy. Yeah, that covers it. And next we have The Chariot at Dusk, the final book in this epic fantasy trilogy, the Tiger at Midnight series by Swati Tirthala. This is so shiny. I love it. And then we have Sisters of the Snake, a sisterly fantasy written by literally twin sisters. So I can't get over that fact. Then we have The Unpopular Vote, a trans masculine student who is laying low at his new school decides to run for class president when he realizes he needs to stand up for what's right. Bang, bang. Love and Other Natural Disasters by Misa Sugira, a fake dating story between two girls, and one of them thinks by doing so she can prove she should be the real girlfriend. And then Jay's Gay Agenda. Small town boy moves to Seattle and finally gets to live out his gay agenda because he didn't get to in his small town and experience all these coming of age romance things for the first time, by Jason June. The Darkness Outside Us, and Enemies to Lovers space mystery thriller. And yeah, that's enough. That's got you, by Elliot Schrafer. My Contrarian Mary, an alternate historical fictional funny take on Mary Queen of Scots, where she can shift into a mouse. An Emotion of Great Delight, a powerful emotional tale about a Muslim girl post 9/11 that will give you more than just delight. It'll give you all of the emotions, by Taha Mafi, the author of the Shatter Me series. The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, a truly devious standalone novel about a series of murders that occurred at a summer camp in the 70s that Stevie Bell returns to the camp to try solving or breaking open the case. The Betrayed, the sequel to The Betrothed, following Hollis after she made some choices after being chosen by the king to be his queen. Royal fantasy, royal romance from the queen of royal romance, the author of the selection. And then lastly, Blackout, a series of 6 interwoven stories set in New York City in a heat wave when it blacks out during the summer from Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Ashley Thomas, Angie Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. Oh, so thank you all so much for tuning in for our gigantic June book haul. Let me see if I can stack these all up to show you one last time at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry to what I've done to your TBRs. They're probably a little bit more stacked now than they were before the video, but hey, summer reading, it's a great time, you know? Let me just finish stacking these up. I don't even think they fit in frame, and I'm worried I'm doing this and it's all a mistake because they're gonna fall all over me. Okay, so this was the epic June book haul. We did it, and we got them all in frame. Okay, that was a close one. Thank you again. Check out these books, and I hope you're all having a fantastic summer. Signing off now. Bye, everybody. I can't wave and hold these books and hit end at the same time. Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching. We're not gone yet. Now we're gone. Okay, bye.